Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Kabaddi with me, are Adi and Rishi, and we are gearing up for the restart of the Indian Premier League. RCB take on KKR at the Chinnaswamy Stadium tomorrow, which is a Saturday. Um, it's good news. Looks like everything's back up and running. There were a lot of question marks over the availability of a lot of players because, yeah, the IPL has slightly stepped into the international calendar. We know that England and the West Indies have a bilateral series, and after that, of course, South Africa and Australia have the World Test Championship final coming up. There's still a lot of questions over the South African players, but what we know is, for RCB fans, Josh Hazelwood is back. Romario Shepherd is back in the camp. It is looking good. It looks like RCB will have most of the players that they started with back and running. The only, I think, concern is Rajat Patidar has a finger injury. We don't know if he will be back in time and whether he's going to play the KKR game. I'm not sure about it. But as things stand, not too bad. Adi, how do you think RCB will affected through the break?
I think it was good for them rather than affected. I think it was a positive because there were a lot of injury concerns before it was stopped. I remember. I think guys like Hazelwood weren't sure. I know that Patida was not going to play the game against LSG. Even Devdutt just got injured, and you had Mayank who still hasn't had time to get in touch with the squad and get familiar with the dynamics. There's a lot of injuries and question marks. Even Krunal Pandya was a doubt at that time. Salt was also a bit of a doubt. So I think it came at a good time for RCB in the sense of okay, I got a good 2 hour, 2 weeks of break. I think players recovered a bit more better, and I think at that point of time, I remember they had played a bit of games and there was a break. Since then, it's been 2 more weeks, so I think it's been a long time since you had the game against CSK if it's like that. But I think overall, at that moment, it was a bit of a positivity just for the fact that you are coming off from players recovering from the injuries and also not going into that game, a tough away game where you're on a streak almost to go and win 7 games away on the trot, and then losing all your main players would have been a tougher scenario for RCB to win compared to now. So I think overall was a bit of a good time for to have a small break.
Yeah, Rishi, but it's interesting. RCB, when the reports came out, they said it would probably be one of the most hit teams because of the restart. Hazelwood, of course, he had a shoulder issue, and they weren't sure whether they would the Australian Cricket Board would want to risk him going in because of the championship test, world test, WTC final coming up as well. And Adi mentioned Patidar obviously injured, and weren't really sure about whether Romario Shepherd would come back either. So weirdly, they've not been that affected. We know that these players have returned. On the other hand, Mumbai Indians now there's slight doubts, slight concerns. Will Jacks, Ryan Rickelton, because there have been a lot of conflicting reports with the South African players whether they will be coming back or not. Do you feel like they'll be at all affected by that? The fact that maybe a Will Jacks or a Ryan Rickelton might not come back.
So, as per Will Jacks's Instagram story, he is on his way to India. The last
Okay.
thing we saw was him holding up his passport and ticket showing he's on his way to India. So, but we'd already signed Johnny Besto as his replacement. So now, what I'm curious to know is what happens now, because I think the reports were saying that the replacement has already been signed. So I don't know what happens. Like that is one thing I'm looking forward to see what happens between these two. But yeah, Ryan Rickelton is going to be a huge loss for us if he does miss out because he was just coming into form, and our backup wicket keeper batsman is not at all convincing. So yeah, that is of big concerns. But let's see. It's nothing is confirmed. There are a lot of uncertainties. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, interesting. I have no. Again, like if they do come back, we don't know how long they're going to stay. We still, I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
there's still a lot of uh, uncertainties around it because there are so many of these players who are going to be playing the Test Championship final. Off the top of my head, I'm just thinking South Africa. Um, You're looking at Ryan Rickelton, Tristan Stubbs is going to be in is in that squad.
Janssen is going to be in that.
Janssen, Aiden Markram, you've
Vian Mulder.
yeah, so there's Corbin Bosch as well. So like quite a few players that South Africa will be carrying with them for the final, and it's one that they will probably take very seriously. They might not get this opportunity every 2 years to play in the WTC final, so probably a big occasion for them, and you would understand. But yes, let's start talking RCB KKR. Adi, where are we, bro? RCB KKR. It's a fresh. It's almost like it feels like the start of a fresh tournament again. KKR, of course, they're not out of the hunt. So, yeah, how do they approach it, and what happens with RCB? Do you think we carry on the same form that we showed?
It's very tough to say. I think again with the good thing of having a break and players recovering, I think it's going to be normal for everyone to have a bit of a reset in terms of form, in terms of the dynamics and the rhythm basically, where you had a good run of games where you were playing continuously as a group, as a unit, you were in that zone, and then you suddenly have a like what 2.5 3 weeks break of cricket. You do get tend to lose the rhythm, lose the dynamics, like it's happened before in other sports, like it did happen in football also to an extent, so it can happen again here in terms of it can go both ways. Like I think I don't want to sit and say, yeah, I had a break, so you're going to lose your form or lose your rhythm, but it also helps in terms of refocusing. It also helps to look at where RCB, at least if the players there know where they could have been better. Lost three games which they shouldn't have lost. So like go back to the drawing boards, look at what they could have done better at home, especially two home games where we have to win. I think that's the thing. I think it goes both ways. I think for every team, it's not that only RCB had a break. It's all the 10 teams had the break. So it's equal for everyone. There is no real reasoning any team can give, especially the teams already in playoff. You can't just give a reason of breaks. You can't give the reason of, oh yeah, like we had a break and lost momentum and all. I think at the end of the day, if you have a good team, you have a good enough team, you have top players. It doesn't matter the conditions like break. I told her that before also with RCB right now. You can't sit and say, yeah, is the conditions is the issue, the home ground is the issue, the toss is the issue. You can't give those reasons. I think it's realistic. Like you have to be realistic. 3 games, you know what to do. You know your job. They're all cricketers. They played the sport for a very long time. I think 2 weeks of breaks shouldn't change anything in terms of the way you were playing before. It's still something fresh for you. That was the last cricketing game you played. Was the IPL still? And you have to be there from day one. I think that's what I expect minimum from these guys. Like I don't want to hear excuses in any form. Like injuries are the only thing that you can say. Yeah, maybe Hazelwood not being there is might be a bigger blow. But what's the point of having a 23-man squad? Like you have other replacements. You have to play them during some games and try to win it. Like last game also Hazelwood wasn't there against CSK, and NKD was arguably your best bowler. So you can't give reasons of Hazelwood not being there or not having everyone fit. Like 2 weeks break, we got that. Everyone need to be back in that zone of going finishing the job 3 games and then looking for the playoffs depending on what position we finish in. I think that's the basics from required from the squad at least.
Yep. Rishi, let's just quickly take a look at KKR because you're looking at Moeen Ali and Rahman Paul apparently not going to be back. So, if that is going to be the case, are they affected at all, or it's the same? They're 11 points and they've got 3 games to go, so they've got the chance to make it to 17. Sorry, they've got 2 games to go. They have a chance to make it 15 and try to qualify. Obviously, it's still hard from here, but they need to win both their games. And do you think Rahman Powell and Moeen Ali pulling out is going to affect at all?
Yeah, dude. Like at least at the start of the season, they were sticking with Spencer Johnson, and then they, in between when Narayan was out, Moeen Ali came in. He did decently, and then eventually they went back to Moeen Ali. So I'm sure if he was there, he would have been like one of the foreigners who would have played for them. Now that Rovman Powell is also out, now what does that leave KKR with? Like Kurbaz, Narayan, Russell, and your fourth all rounder is going to be either Quinton de Kock or Spencer Johnson.
Yeah.
So like you really don't have much, of course if you have three solid players who are going to start, but it's about who's the fourth player who's going to be. So yeah, I think it does affect them in a way, because I've always felt Moeen Ali, like, although this season hasn't been convincing with the bat, I felt he was complimenting Varun Chakravarti really well, and even Narayan well. Like there were some like games where he'd go for like 4 overs, 23, 24 for like 2, 24 for 3. He was bowling consistently well. So I think that they're going to miss out on. And the replace, like his backup of Spencer Johnson, has not at all been convincing. So I think it's going to be kind of a big blow for them.
Interesting, bro. Like, I still think the heavy lifting will be done by Narayan, Chakravarti, etc., etc. I don't think they'll be that affected. But yeah, it is what it is with KKR. And on the other hand, you've asked if you probably will have a first team squad out. But yeah, in general, do you guys think this is going to affect the IPL going forward? Or do you think like going forward, maybe like given the entire situation and like how it panned out, do you think it could affect the IPL in the coming years about with players coming to the tournament?
In the sense of,
In the sense of, I don't know. I mean, it was something that was unprecedented, and I don't know if you've heard, but did you guys listen to Alisa Healy's podcast on Willow? Uh, she
yeah,
said that it was quite
It was quite scary apparently for
for
them.
her, and they had to leave. Sort of very, they were rushed out, and it was not the best times, and they weren't sure at all of what was happening at any point. And
So,
there were also
like,
reports saying that
apparently, according to
Stark.
Alisa Healy, like, one of the people who were, like, very much concerned was Faf, and he himself is back. Like, I don't think these foreigners, if they don't have the assurance, they wouldn't risk it, because,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I think players like Kushal Mendes, in fact, left Pakistan Super League midway, and they are coming to play IPL also. I think that also speaks a little bit about, their confidence in us.
yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then, but yeah, Mitchell Stark is going to be an interesting one. It looks like he's one of those who's not going to be heading back to the IPL. Has he said like clearly that he will not be coming back? I'm not sure. Yeah, he has then. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it's confirmed that Mitchell Stark and one more. I don't know who, but one more foreigner is confirmed. Like not because of international duty, but it's through personal choice. They're not
interesting.
coming.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. But we move on, and I mean, it's a loss for Delhi because they are obviously in contention for the top four, and losing Stark. We know how lethal Stark was towards the back end of the IPL last year. Again, we know that on his if it's not his day, he's going to go for runs. But on his day, if Stark turns up and the ball is moving a bit, you know how deadly and lethal he is. So, yeah, that's that for them. But let's just quickly discuss the top four race as well. Where are we standing, bro? This is what it is. Like Gujarat Titans are top of the table, 16 points. RCB who play the same number of games, 16 points, just lower on run rate. Then you've got Punjab in third, 15. And then you've got Mumbai in fourth, 14. But Mumbai had played one game more than the rest. Then you have Delhi at 11 games, 13 points. Realistically, we're seeing these five teams compete for the top four places. Rishi, if you had to knock one of these guys out, who would it be, bro? Like, who do you think is not making it in these five?
Um, who's not making?
Yeah,
I
because
think.
five, no.
Hmm,
Unless you're saying
I
KKR
think
could make it.
based on, again, I'm not gonna consider KKR, because already the places, like the teams, at least three teams are pretty much confirmed for me. Like they're like, I think like in the contention. Mumbai is the only team who's played a game extra, and these guys all have 16 and 15 points. So I think KKR is going to look very bleak for them. And I think the ones who are going to be affected are your Gujarat Titans, your Mumbai Indians, and your Delhi Capitals, because Gujarat, Butler, the effect that he's had, like Sudarshan and Gill are literally carrying that batting lineup. They, like, every inning, one of those three have scored a 50. So losing out on him is a big loss. Same with Rickleton. Like, he started off very slow for Mumbai Indians, but he's come good. Like, he was showing promise, like, towards the latter stages. And with DC also, like, DC right now, I'm seeing there are conflicting reports as to Faf. Like, some are saying, Cricinfo saying he's going to be back, but there are some other outlets saying he's opted out. So that
Hmm.
looks like it's still up in the air. Mitchell Stark is obviously missing out. So,
Yeah,
dude,
Butler's
that's a
coming,
pretty,
but
pretty
Butler will
big
be
thing.
there till the playoffs.
He's back for the playoffs.
He will be there till the
Hey,
playoffs.
then
Like,
I think, so then I think it's between Mumbai and DC, bro. I think these two, because for Punjab also, like, today morning I was seeing Stoinis is back. Who else is missing for them? I can't recall anybody, like,
yeah,
any big
Punjab.
like.
Yeah,
Is Josh
Marco
Inglis
Jansen.
missing?
Marco Janssen. Yeah, Marco Janssen is the interesting one for
Hmm.
Punjab because South African players we still don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think, they've been starting English also. So if English is also missing out, then that'll also be the big. I think for now it's going to be between DC and Mumbai Indians, bro. We are
Interesting.
going to be one of these affected
Yeah,
the most.
Speed saying toss on Pakistan. I don't think we are not in any place to comment on these things. I think we're here to talk about the cricket. Let's stick to the cricket and yeah, it's the return of the IPL. I think if anything, we should be celebrating that one of India's biggest tournaments is returning, and the fact that it's poised so nicely for this final third or whatever we're going to call it. Um,
English is back. Josh English is also back apparently for Punjab.
is he?
Oh, is
I
it?
thought I thought he was not going to come back.
Yeah, and Faf and Stark are the ones who opted out for Delhi. So Faf has not actually come back to India. He's opted to stay back.
See, that's the
Interesting.
thing. As per Crick info, he's still the latest info is that they're
Yeah,
still there. He's
I
still
haven't
available.
seen, but Josh Inglis
It's
also. I'm
as
seeing
per
different reports.
ESPN Cricket only that both Faf and Stark are opted out.
Yeah,
Acha.
but Josh Inglis, I have not seen anything that says that he's back. Like from a, I mean it, or will he join? I don't know where. But I'm just looking at Western Australian like, and it doesn't say that he's sure that he's coming back or not or staying back. But
Ooh,
Josh Inglis. So yeah, I'm not too sure about English, but yeah, we'll the others. Yeah, it's interesting. Adi, for you, who's the one team that probably doesn't qualify? Or do you give KKR a chance still?
no, it's simple. I think Delhi doesn't qualify just for the
Mhm.
fact that their decent batting order has become a bit more weaker. No experience in the batting lineup, no experience in that bowling lineup also with losing a guy like Stark, and also who are the main batsmen now? KL Rao's there, who's going to lead their T20 side, and bowling wise, I don't think they really have that ace bowler which they had before. Also, they were struggling in form before the halt of IPL also, and the Delhi game against Punjab, they would have, I think, eventually lost that game because the way Punjab were batting, it was incredible to see the way they batted and what they were at 130 odd runs in 11 overs, if I'm not wrong. I think it would have been a colossal target for them to chase, and I think they would have had a point lesser with worse net run rate. Think they got lucky, getting that game called off and not ever playing it again. I think that was also a questionable call from BCCI because I think it's only fair to they should have seen some way to replay that game. I think that should have been a conversation also because I think Punjab has gotten unlucky in a game where really there was no rain to stop that game.
Which one?
I
The
think
one that was stopped.
yeah, against Delhi.
That's going to be replayed, no? Yeah.
No, they're not. They're not going to replay that. It's not. They're not.
Yeah, it's
No,
going to
no,
be
it is.
replayed from,
It
like,
is
it's going to be a
replayed.
fresh match
It's a
apparently.
new. It's a game
Where?
that'll be replayed. Yeah.
Where do you see that?
No, it's just
Are there
everywhere. It's a decision.
where?
They're replaying the game.
Yeah,
It's
they're
So
it's
wait.
replaying the game.
it's on the
So
24th.
in the new fixture, is it shown that they're going to play the other
Yeah,
game?
yeah, yeah.
Then how is
Yeah,
Punjab
yeah.
on 16 points? Like that doesn't make sense.
They're not on 16. They're on 15.
They're on
Punjab are on
15.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
Delhi are on 13. Yeah, yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, okay, okay. Because last time I saw they were on 16 points, and when I checked the table, it was written as no result. Like
Correct.
it was like
Like
Yeah,
three, four
nobody.
days
immediately
Yeah,
after
ago.
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
one, it
But
was like match
that
abandoned.
that
But
game is
now
going to
they're
be
gonna
that game
restart.
is going to be played again.
All right, okay, okay. Then that's fair. That's fair. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're playing in Jaipur. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
given
then I
that,
guess okay, that makes it a bit different. Maybe in terms of it's gonna be a win game. You know, they have to win those games. In terms of, I think it's pretty straightforward. Punjab has two games like Delhi
they'll
and
have to win
Mumbai.
two more.
No, the point is they're going to play a team that they're competing against the top four. Mumbai, Delhi, they have to play. I think Mumbai has to play Delhi and Punjab, if I'm not wrong. And I think and again, Delhi has to play Punjab. So you know that you can see that one of the three teams from these three
Correct,
fixtures, I mean, one of
correct.
these two teams from these three teams will qualify.
Yeah,
And yeah, like I think that's the main race. You know, apart from RCB, Gujarat, they'll also have to win their games, but it's again different opposition. I think
yeah,
RCB has to win it against the lower half of the table. Things same with no, I think it's the same with Gujarat. Yeah, I don't think they're going to play any of the top half. So yeah, I think it's a matter of going there and doing the job for the those two teams, and with these three teams, it's going to be one of these two of these three teams. I would back Punjab and Mumbai. I just think overall
yeah. I
Punjab's
just think,
playing solid
yeah,
cricket.
I think even before the break, Delhi had lost a bit of like firepower. Like they lost that little bit of momentum. It was not like they were doing great things. I thought Punjab would drop out initially. I remember when we spoke last time, but it looks
Yeah.
like that's not going to happen. It looks like Delhi probably will be the team that will drop out. And now with them losing Stark and who else? They're not sure about Stubbs coming back. I think
No,
it's
he's
a
come back.
very.
He's come back. He's
Is he
going to stay
back?
till the player. They're all going to play the player until playoffs. They'll play. Stubbs will play. I mean, apart
Yeah,
from
but
that, normal players.
oh,
But
okay.
I
Stubbs
think
is back.
they've
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
yeah, they also got Mustafizur Rahman as their replacement for Stark, who I think is a decent, solid replacement.
Nah, bro, but like obviously very different profile. But yeah, let's see what he does with them. But I think they've just lost something, Delhi. But yeah, it's going to be tough for them to make it from here. I think losing Stark will be a big blow as like mentally also for them. One of their biggest players,
So
and
I
you're saying
don't really
Faf.
think it's a huge blow, bro. Like
A
Stark
huge blow in the
doesn't.
sense I'm not saying like Stark would is going to change the game or whatever, but that 1-2 games, the days he turns up, he will win the game single handedly. For you, he'll take 3 wickets in the power play and the game will be done there.
But I don't
So
think he's done that enough this year, and anyways, to
he's
be
not. He
like
never.
that.
That's the thing. I don't think Stark ever does it consistently. That's why I keep saying I don't think Stark is worth like the money that whatever teams pay. But I think whenever those performances are due, and usually they come. At some point they come from Stark. And I think at the end of the day, big name bowler, big player. And to be honest, I think was Stark's most consistent bowling I've seen was doing the BGT like for a long time. And somewhere he
Bro,
was coming in with some
T20 is
good.
different from T20s, right?
It is different, I know, but like I just think in terms of lines and everything, he was able to get it a lot more in the length areas that he usually errs too much. He goes too full, and we've seen that from Stark, and he gets hammered for runs when he looks searching for the
Stark is
full.
not somebody who works people out. No, it's usually those unplayable balls that he has like
Exactly.
every
Yeah,
now and
yeah,
then.
yeah. That's what I'm
He's not
saying.
one
So
of those Josh Hazelwoods or Bolans.
that's what I'm saying. I
But
feel like he
but
was
no, one
able
of
to be
but
a lot more consistent heading into the IPL, and I think he was not bad. Like I think he was better. Genuinely, I think from last year's league season to this year's league season, he was much better. He was a lot more consistent in the league season, Mr. Stark.
Yeah.
So
he has
yeah,
the
I think
same economy as last season, by the way.
yeah,
Just
but I'm telling you what I saw with my eyes. Like I think it just genuinely bowled a
now
lot
he's
better
still getting
in those
smashed 10
areas.
runs and over last year. Same this year, it's the same 10 runs he's getting smashed. So there's no difference. And 10 runs is a lot. And for an ace opening bowler, getting smashed 10 runs as your economy is
No, I
pretty.
think yeah, I think he's expensive. I've always said it, like I think Stark in T20 cricket is very expensive, but whenever he turns up, I want to give him credit like for the fact that I think he's still bowled in much better areas than he did last year. But
He had a lower strike rate last year than this year, by the way. Just to
yeah,
put
that
it
is
out there.
because you're taking into account the playoffs, and he had some brilliant games in the playoffs, and
Are,
that
how are you not taking that as a factor? Like, obviously, you have to take that as a factor, right?
no, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that those games are still due. He has not delivered like that
And
in a, he's
so
not had a big
I
game
don't
yet.
think you can just say it's due. To be fair, I think that's different because last year the reason it helped him is because they played in slower tracks in the playoffs. Like they played in Chennai and Ahmedabad 4 games straight,
No, but
two
at the
games.
end of the day, for him, it was the swinging ball that made the difference, not the track itself. So
Yeah, it's a better bowling track, playing track than
no, but
like a Chinsumi,
he
than an
needs to
Eden
get
Garden.
this. He needs swing, and the track is not going to give him swing.
Bro, he had like I think you get swing in almost every time. Even in Delhi, you were getting nice swing. Like I remember that game, you
Not
were getting good
really.
swing.
Actually, he
What?
has not been getting that much movement. But yeah,
So you're saying
I'm just telling you what I've seen. Hmm?
this season he's not gotten swing is the point.
I just think he's not gotten enough, like the
So
amount of
you're
swing that
saying
he
in the
expected.
playoffs he'll get the swing where that's where it
No, I'm not
matters.
saying he will. I'm not saying he will.
Yeah,
I never
so
said he will. I
that's
don't
the
know if he
point.
will. Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's no guarantee for anything. So yeah, that's just big name, big
That's what I'm
loss.
saying. I don't think it's a huge miss when your best bowler is going for 10 runs and over the season, and
But that's what I'm
they're
saying. Like
happy.
he's always been that bowler. Like he will go for 10 runs, but people
No,
still back
but
him because he
bro,
has those one two
I don't
games.
believe,
You backed him
I don't
yourself last year. I remember you
what
said, "Oh, Stark will give you this game. He will win the game for you and stuff like that."
he did
Although he
win
went for
them.
runs, throughout the year.
That's because I've always been a fan of Stark. Is this me personally as a left arm pacer? He's always been my favorite bowler. So for me, regardless of his form, I'll be like, yeah, this guy is a game winner. But this year, to be fair, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, he's a game winner. The way he's been bowling, I don't think he's been the greatest, out there. And I could see that clearly. Like the entire season, I don't think he's been good enough this season compared to last. Like even last year he fixed up whatever in the playoffs, but you take that out. Like looking at this year, I'm not going to sit and say, okay, Delhi is going to have a huge blow because of Stark. I feel like they have going to have a huge blow. It's only because I don't think they have the right balance in the batting lineup overall. Like I think if you're going to replace Stark now with a guy like Natarajan, it's an equal upgrade. I can't sit and say, okay, you're getting a massive downgrade there, where like it's like saying respectfully, like losing Hazelwood and getting someone like Rasik, like that's a massive downgrade, like for example. But you're gonna get in a player like Natarajan who's actually been better throughout his IPL career. Even last year itself, he was much better play bowling in Hyderabad, etc. So I don't think it's for me. It's not a big difference of like losing Stark overall, but I do believe like they're gonna lose. They've lost that batting balance overall this season, anyways, and I think they've not been able to find the right rhythm of batting, right way to bat innings out. I think they play too slow. Like the top order just plays too slow. I feel like if Karuna is not playing there, I think with Porel's a bit of 50-50. Like sometimes he plays a bit quicker, sometimes he just takes it too much time. Same thing with KL, same thing with even Stubbs if the situation's like that. And I just think overall they don't have the right batting depth and power to like be like, yeah, they're gonna score a lot of runs. So that's why I don't think they'll be on the top.
Yeah.
Because you remember that Hyderabad game, they should have lost that Hyderabad game also. If you just remember, like they got lucky with that rain, coming in and washing out against a team that's been struggling this entire IPL also. So I feel like there is a bit of, like just lack of that real essence of batting unit there. And I think that's why they won't be in the top.
Yeah, fair enough. Same. I think I still think that overall in general they seem to have lost a little bit of steam heading in to the break. But yeah, if there was if RCB make it to the final, Adi, will you watch the final? I can't watch the final. I'm based in the UK right now, so I can't. Adi, will you watch the final in the stadium?
What do you mean watch? No, we don't even know where the stadium is going to be anyways,
No,
bro.
wherever
Like,
it is.
nah,
Ahmedabad,
bro.
boys, Ahmedabad.
Hmm.
I'm good, bro. Like, for me, it's pointless to spend crores and crores of money on tickets, on IPL tickets and all. I'm happy to just, bro, at this point, you are spending like that. Like, if you have to pay ticket for an RCB game, you'll have to pay in like 6-7 figures, like almost. So it's like not worth it for me. I'm happy to chill and watch it online, bro.
Rishi, if Mumbai make it, you want to go and watch it in the ground?
I mean, anyway, I have to go to Ahmedabad in a while, so I
Oh
might
yeah,
just
that's true.
prepone my trip.
Right.
So, maybe. Let's see. Oh wait, dude, is Jake Fraser McGurk also out for Delhi?
Jake Fraser McGurk. Yes, I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was the
Who's
same
left
team.
there then for them?
Apparently, even
Nobody's
Bhuvan
left.
left.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, the
So
foreign
And
players are
even
they
Donovan
don't have.
Ferreira will be missing out because he's also South Africa.
No, but he's not in the squad for the
Is he not?
final. No.
Wait, let's see. Where
Yeah,
is
so it's that's what Delhi is going to be tough, but
Delhi is looking very iffy suddenly.
yeah, but that is just where we stand, guys. RCB KKR tomorrow. It is back. The IPL is back. We've got a nice last chunk of games before we get into the playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it. I think most of us are excited for it. It will be good stuff, and we'll be back discussing the IPL for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, join us, guys, and please like and share the video. Subscribe to Sports Kabaddi, and we will see you soon. Bye.